The U.S. government is being strongly warned tonight to steer clear of Chinese telecommunications giant Huawei, the same Huawei that's already building networks in Canada. A U.S. intelligence committee investigated the Chinese firm for the past year and calls it a national security threat. And tonight, in an exclusive interview, the chair of that same committee has a blunt warning for Canada. The CBC's Greg Weston first broke the Huawei story last spring and has the latest. Greg.
Wendy, no doubt about it, Huawei is doing a booming business in Canada. Mega deals with Bell, TELUS, SaskTel, Wind Mobile. And the next big deal may be a secure network for the federal government. And that, says the head of the U.S. Intelligence Committee, could be courting disaster.
I absolutely would not do it. If the key word there is new secure network, I would not have the faith and confidence.
A nation state.
After a year-long investigation, the Congressional Committee says it has no confidence in either of China's two largest telecom companies, Huawei and ZTE.
The investigation concluded that the risks associated with these companies providing equipment and services to U.S. critical infrastructure undermines the core U.S. national security interests.
The fear is electronic bugs will be embedded in telecom systems to secretly transmit data back to China.
There are bugs, backdoors, and beaconing going on in Huawei gear. We've had lots of reports of that happening in just a few places that they're in the United States. I will, bet my bottom dollar, as we say in the United States, that activity is happening in Canada as well.
One of Canada's former top spy masters agrees.
I think that threat is real. I think I've seen it hands-on through my own experience. It's true.
In the last 2 years alone, Chinese cyber hackers have hit Canadian companies, governments, and even law firms. The federal government responsible for creating the new secure government network says, "Our government has put in place a cybersecurity strategy designed to defend against electronic threats, hacking, and cyber espionage." The Harper government refuses to say if it will stop Huawei from bidding on its new secure network. By contrast, the U.S. and Australia have both banned the Chinese giant from major projects.
We have a prime minister who doesn't seem to take this seriously. There's a real question of competence with this government. If other countries, Australia, the UK is wrestling with this issue, and of course the United States with this report, are taking this seriously, why aren't we?
We have repeatedly tried to question the government about Huawei. The last time the Prime Minister addressed it, he was evasive.
And I would remind the leader of the NDP that we don't take dictates on security from the United States.
A Huawei spokesperson denies the allegations and says Huawei is neither directed nor controlled by the Chinese government.
There are politics and then there are facts. The facts are that this company is globally trusted and that our product is world proven in terms of its security and integrity.
This story is only going to get bigger, Wendy. The committee says what's not in its report is evidence of possible bribery and corruption, allegations it plans to turn over to the FBI tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Greg. Greg Weston in Ottawa tonight. Now, some interesting facts about Huawei. It's actually one of the biggest companies in the world. It was founded in the late 1980s by a former member of the People's Liberation Army who was a military technology researcher. It began as a small company servicing rural China, but by the mid-2000s, Huawei's international contracts far exceeded its domestic sales. And while it is a private company owned by its employees, it is not publicly listed in Hong Kong or the U.S., sparing it from full financial disclosure.